Susanna, start with you. There's a scene right at the beginning of this movie that I absolutely loved. When your character does the thing where she pretends to cut her hand off. I thought that was great, and the gore is really cool. Like your character didn't actually lose her hand, but I thought it was just as realistic as the rest of the gore and the rest of the movie. So tell me a little bit about filming that moment. Like, what was that like, kind of doing that in front of so many people?
Yeah, that was my first day on set, and that was my first time screaming. So that, to me, when I watched that scene, I'm like, oh, that's baby me, that's freshman me, like before I had done any of. So it's really beautiful, and I'll never forget it. And yeah, I think the puke was almost a little more gross in that scene. Just how many takes of the puke we had to get, but
Uh-huh. No, it's great. Totally sets the tone for the rest of the movie. I thought it was so much fun.
thank you.
David, I don't want to get too far into spoilers, like as far as what happens in the second half of the movie, but I loved your character, Tyler, and for a while I thought he was the killer. I clocked him. I won't see if I'm right or wrong, but I was convinced it was you. But I also love him because there's so many sides to him. Like he acts kind of suspicious sometimes, other times he's like the total jock, and then there's like a softer side we kind of get to see and like come out of him throughout this movie. So I'm just kind of wondering, what was it like for you as an actor to kind of explore these different sides to Tyler? Like, what is there an aspect about him that you like the most?
Totally. Yeah, great question. Yeah, I think that it was like very attractive to me just how layered he was. At first, I was kind of like, oh, this dude is very one note, lack of depth. But then when I talked to Matt, the director, he approached it with such a like empathetic approach, and that made me feel very excited to like dive into it. So, yeah, I think he's a very impressionable young guy. He kind of goes with the flow a lot. He's like a product of this insane town that they all grew up in. So I guess, yeah, my favorite thing about him is just kind of like how malleable he seems to be
Sure.
in whatever different group setting he's in. So yeah.
No, totally. Totally. It's really interesting just to kind of watch how it all plays out too. Again, I don't want to say too much, but it was a great character arc and you played him great. Susanna, I also really like the friendship that your character has with India's character, Linda, in here. There's something that just kind of felt so natural and believable about it. Like, they're two very different people, but you can also see why they would be friends. Like, it made total sense to me. So I'm just kind of wondering what it was like kind of working with India as a screen partner and kind of exploring that relationship. Like, had you guys met before? How quickly did you kind of bond when you were snapping into these characters?
Yeah, we met on the car ride to set. I remember opening the door and I saw Fina in India, and it was just such a warm vibe. Like it wasn't quiet or awkward, and we just sat down and started yapping. And I was like, "How long have you guys been besties?" And they said, "Oh, we just met today." So I was like, "Oh, that's the vibe." So it just so easy. Almost had to pull it back a little because we're just good friends.
Sure, totally. And just one more question for both of you. It's again, I don't want to spoil who lives and dies in this movie, but like it's part of the Prom Queen is part of the larger Fear Street franchise. And those, I mean, there was the first three movies that kind of came out, and kind of, I don't know where the franchise goes or if the series story is going to continue, but there's that kind of last scene during the closing credits that suggests maybe there's more to come. So do you think there's more to tell in this story after Prom Queen? And would you be interested in like continuing to play these characters potentially?
That would be so cool. Yeah, I love that this movie is just like a standalone thing, and it could have a future for sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so
Could
too.
be
I
cool.
mean, I think it would be so much fun. I agree though. It's the fact that it's like its own kind of small story is kind of beautiful. But I'd be down.